What is up, everyone? Welcome to MJT Football. I'm joined with Joe Morley Sports. No Tony Tucker today. He's feeling a little under the weather, but we do have his picks, and we'll be giving you his picks at the end of the show and giving you our picks for every single game of Week 2. Let's get into it, but first we got to play a little jingle. And we are back. Joe, how have you been this week? I know you're probably pretty pumped considering you won last week.
Well, everybody already knows, Mike, that the Raiders won the game last week. So why not feel happy this week? Why not? We're sitting at the top of the division. The Raiders are at the top, just minding their own business, 1-0, feeling lucky. Hey, and then I had the best pick'ems out of me, you, and Tony last week. Yeah, Niner fans, you guys came at me and you guys were like, you picked the Steelers. I don't give a damn. I still picked 11 correct wins last week. So, yeah, maybe I cost myself a little bit of money in your pick'em league because if I would have picked the Niners, I would have won almost $200. My bad. If you guys haven't joined the pick'em challenge, you guys need to join it right now. It's only $5, and you guys can win great amount of money, and you're already picking the damn games anyways. You might as well if you win 1 week. So I won this week. I've got 11 wins. They gave me like $27, Mike.
Yeah, that's 5x.
I just use that same $5 every week now. I don't even have to put another deposit in.
So 1 week where you finish in the top 50 and you can play for 5 more weeks. Yeah, if you guys want to join that Pick'ems challenge, it also supports my push here trying to be a full-time content creator. Just head to the link in the description of the live stream, or you can head to my TikTok and Instagram profiles, and the link is in my bio if you want to join the Pick'ems challenge. You need to get those picks in for Thursday Night Football today, or you're going to start off 0-1 if you send in your picks a little late. So maybe take the 5 minutes to do it real quick. Again, the link is in the description of this live here on YouTube. What's up, Harrison? Appreciate everyone for tuning in. It's in the chat. Also help us out by liking the stream, y'all. Subscribe, turn on notifications if you aren't already. Subscribe notifications on. We go live often. We'll be live Sunday morning previewing the games and answering fantasy football questions.
You know Marquis
is here. I do not.
Marquis is a big Cowboy TikToker. Met him at the Cowboy camp. Great guy. But yeah, how about them Cowboys? Cowboys. Hey, Mike. People gave us a hard time because of me at Cowboy camp, but we broke down the Cowboys and we saw nothing that surprised us against the Giants. Everything that we saw at Dallas Cowboy camp that you and I talked about afterwards, the speed of the Dallas Cowboy defense, everything about that, we said the Dallas Cowboys are going to be a damn good team this year. And people are shocked that their defense went out and destroyed Danny Dimes. I don't get it. We talked about it. We saw the Dallas Cowboys in person, and we were like, damn, this team has a lot of team speed.
Well, yeah, and that's my official NFC pick to go to the Super Bowl this year, Joe. So give me some credit. You know, you guys were all mad, calling me biased and all this nonsense. But really, looking like I might have been on to something.
Mike,
seeing this Cowboys D-line work.
Too.
Let's go. Look at us
right
go.
Here.
Look at us go. Chargers, Cowboys, Super Bowl. We're here for it. We're going to talk about the Chargers, I'm sure, in this. Harrison wants to know some help. Should he pick the Eagles for a survivor pool? I would feel good about the Eagles tonight in the survivor pool, but the game I'm going on is actually Cowboys over Jets.
Yeah, I had the Eagles tonight.
Okay. And then Damon's asking, when does the pick'ems lock? It locks at kickoff, but just go send in your picks right now. So that way you don't forget, Damon. Links in the description again. And Eric wants to know if we've ever encountered someone who sees our videos and wants to whoop our asses because we talk shit. I've gotten a lot of threats in my DMs and comments, Eric, but no one has had the balls to challenge me in person. I'll just let you know I'm a black belt in every mixed martial art ever exists.
Hey, it's funny because we get a lot of people that talk a lot of shit and they go, oh, you guys we see you in person. Then they see us in person and what do? Hey, can I take a picture with you? Because we're not jackasses. We're not going to go out there and we're not looking to fight you. And if you take anything that we take personal, that's on you. We're just having fun talking football. And if you, like the people that go to games and fight, you're just dumb anyways.
Yeah, it's all that you get from that is maybe a night in jail, but even at bare minimum, banned from the stadium. Just straight up, you're just banned from the stadium.
Yeah. And I'll drop like a motherfucker too, Mike. Somebody socks me, I'll just drop and I'll cry. I'm like, yeah, I'll build that up, and then I'll go to court and I'll cry even more on the stand. Yeah, you'll get it. I'm not. I have no cares in the world.
This man's lying to you. One time we were at a game, we got to the parking lot, we were at our cars, and then a bunch of 49er fans showed up, and they all jumped Joe. And I'm not going to help him. He was in Raiders gear, so I just kind of was watching. I should have probably took a video of it, but Joe beats all 5 guys. All 5.
I beat all 5 of them off. Is that what you're saying?
All 5 49er fans, ejaculation all over the floor. Anyways, Jimmy G for Offensive Player of the Year. Don't start all this nonsense. Don't start all this nonsense.
It was good.
Colby's here. Again, guys, help us out by liking the video. Let's get into this. There's some fantasy questions here. We'll answer fantasy questions at the end if we have time. But we have a fantasy show every Sunday morning you can come to and ask fantasy questions. If you're tuned into either TikTok live chat, come on over to the YouTube MJT Football live chat. All right, Joe. First game tonight, Thursday Night Football, Minnesota Vikings on the road in Philadelphia. I personally think that the Vikings are walking straight into a buzzsaw in this game, but what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I went back and I was watching the Vikings-Bucks because I was like, how the hell did the Bucks beat the Vikings? And I was watching that game. It's the same thing as last year. There's no offensive line in Minnesota. People are blaming Kirk Cousins, and they're like, we need a quarterback to get Jefferson the ball. He has no time back there. And if you had no time last week against the Bucks, guess what? You have no fucking time this week against this Eagles defense. I was looking at get-off time because I was comparing some Tyree Wilson to some of the times. Mike, last week, the Eagles' offensive line in that game, 4 of the top 5 pass rushers or offensive linemen in the NFL with get-off time. That's when the ball's hiked and they go. Ball's hiked, go. We're on the Philadelphia Eagles. 4 of them.
Yeah, they got some speed on the edges for sure. Hassan Reddick and Nolan Smith, they are fast, and I agree exactly with what you're saying right now. I don't think that this Vikings O-line knows what's about to hit them, and I don't think that this Vikings defense is going to do very good against the Philly offense either. We know they did the out haul. They brought in Brian Flores. They played decent against Tampa, but they were very leaky. Lots of big plays down the field that were open, and Baker even missed on a few. And I don't think Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, they ain't going to miss on anything.
Yeah, if you want to talk about fantasy, if you have any Eagles offense, I'm starting, especially Swift. Swift was non-existent last week, but a lot of injuries on the running back. Gainwell, I don't think Gainwell's playing. So, yeah, if you're doing that, I would do it. Minnesota Vikings.
They're in trouble, man.
Better luck next week. At least you got 10 days to recoup after this.
Yeah, and I'm sure Justin Jefferson will still show out. I'm sure he'll still have a good game, so they'll show out. But I'm definitely picking the Eagles. I'm assuming you're picking the Eagles. Let's see who Tony picked. Tony went with the Eagles as well for this Thursday night game. So all 3 of us have the Eagles in this matchup of the Vikings versus Eagles. Let us know in the chat who you guys got, Eagles or Vikings. All right, on to the next game here, Joe. Green Bay Packers on the road in Atlanta. Oh, wait, he asked the Vikings question. 1 second. Jordan Addison, I personally would start. I
think Addison gets another touchdown tonight.
I will go with Lockett. I'm scared that the Vikings are just going to get smoked tonight, but I could be wrong.
Garbage time points count too, Mike.
That's true. They do count. Put Addison in. That's more of an exciting play. Never mind. Screw Tyler Lockett.
Yeah, screw it.
Screw it. Panthers fans do hate him. We're going to talk about the Chargers, Lewis. When we get to the Chargers, put this question back in there. James is going to Eagles. All right, now we're on to the next game. Green Bay Packers in Atlanta against the Falcons. I already know Tony Tucker is torn on this one because obviously he wants the Packers to succeed. He's been hyped on the Packers being better than everyone expected with Jordan Love. He wants the Atlanta Falcons to succeed. He's basically Desmond Ritter's biggest fan on earth. What do you think, Joe, about this game? I think it's a very interesting game, and both these 2 teams' seasons could pivot here in this week.
Yeah, I went back and watched Green Bay's game. Green Bay, Jordan Love missed a lot of passes. They should have put up 50, 60 points on the Bears. That's how bad it was, in my opinion, just watching it. So I'm going with the Green Bay Packers again. I don't know. I'm not still sold on Desmond Ridder down there like Tony Tucker is with the Atlanta Falcons. So I'm going with Green Bay Green Bay. That defense, right? The defense should be able to stop the run. Nothing excites me about the Atlanta Falcons. I don't care if they can win. They can go 2-0 this week, and I'll still be like, oh, it's the Atlanta Falcons. So yeah, Green Bay Packers. Jordan Love making his name for himself.
I mean, I was pretty pumped to see Bijan Robinson work last weekend. He got a limited amount of carries, a limited amount of touches. It was very impressive in that limited amount of touches. But I just think that this Packers, and they have a whole list of questionable players as of right now. I think that this Packers D-line is not going to let the Falcons do anything in the pass game. And when you make a team one-dimensional, you know what can happen. It can get ugly. And that's kind of what they did to the Bears as well. They shut down the run, slowed them down, and then once they went to go throw the ball, that wasn't working either. I think that they're going to commit to making sure that this Atlanta Falcons offense is throwing the ball, and that's just not where they want to be. They want to run the shit out of the football. Tyler Algier and Bijan Robinson may be the best running back duo in the league already, and we're 2 weeks into the season. It's hard to imagine Green Bay giving up a crazy rushing game. That's what's going to take for Atlanta to win. So I'm going Green Bay as well, but I'm pretty sure Tony picked the Falcons. Yeah, Tony is going with the Falcons. So he's got some faith here in the home team.
And just as we go on, guys, as we get into the games and we're talking about the games, make sure you guys put who you guys are taking in the comment section so we can pull that up as well. So as we go through the games, so we already went through the Eagles, now the Green Bay game. Make sure you guys let us know who's winning those games.
Yeah, and you see Afix here saying Drake London's going to have 0 catches again, isn't he? They did not get him involved in the Week 1 game at all. Kyle Pitts got like 2 targets. I mean, they just aren't going to be throwing the ball. They don't want to throw the ball. You could tell already.
No, they don't.
Anyways, we got a division rivalry game next. And this one's going to be interesting between the Baltimore Ravens and the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals obviously came out last week, and they delivered an absolute stinker against the Cleveland Browns. The Baltimore Ravens weren't perfect in their win against the Houston Texans either. Joe, which way are you leaning on this one?
And Baltimore had a lot of injuries to the defensive side of the ball this week. And J.K. Dobbins out again. That sucks to see J.K. Dobbins come back, work hard to get back, and then out again for a season. Bengals looked like crap. They looked like crap last week, but I don't expect that to be the case this week. Just getting Joe Burrow back out there in his first action. I'm taking the Ravens. Why not? I'll take the Baltimore Ravens over the Bengals. Send those Bengals to 0-2 this week.
Yeah, and weren't they down Mark Andrews for Week 1?
Yeah, they were down Mark Andrews.
I think he's coming back. That's going to be huge. I mean, this injury report looks disgusting. I'm looking at it right now. Jesus. I mean, how are they so injured every single season? Is it bad luck? Is it the training staff? What is it? But I think Mark Andrews coming back is going to add another dynamic to this offense. I'm a big Isaiah Likely fan, obviously, but Mark Andrews is he's that security blanket that Lamar Jackson trusts more than anyone else on the field. You get Mark Andrews out there also, it's going to free up Zay Flowers even more against the Cincinnati secondary. I think that the Ravens offense is actually going to eat here. I'm sad about the J.K. Dobbins loss. You don't want him to get injured again, but their rushing attack has been the same with any running back there, no matter what. It's the exact same because it's not running back influenced, it's scheme influenced. So if they get Gus Edwards back there, he's not a big drop off from J.K. Dobbins, in my opinion. Maybe J.K. Dobbins has a better ability to make a big play happen than Gus Edwards, but as far as the efficiency of the offense, Gus Edwards is going to average 5 yards per carry, just like J.K. Dobbins would average 5 yards per carry, just like Justice Hill would, or anyone, basically, except for Le'Veon Bell. Anyone except for Le'Veon Bell. So I think the Ravens offense will be just fine, and I'll give Cincinnati a couple weeks to figure out their offense before I start picking them in close games like this. So I'm taking Baltimore as well. Let's see who Tony picked. The football therapist in the house. What's up?
Melvin Gordon is activated this week, Tony, but no, I'm not going to go Mel. I would. Melvin Gordon's too old at this point to be a number 1 running back.
So Tony is going with the Bengals. I'm pretty sure that 2 of the 3 games so far.
Tony likes losing. Tony likes losing to us. That's what it is.
He likes losing all of these picks. Just a reminder, everyone tuned in the chat, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications. If you want to join the PICKEMS challenge and try and win some money, the link's in the description of the live stream or in the NFLMike profiles, all social media profiles. All right, on to Seattle on the road in Detroit. I mean, we're getting a bunch of interesting games this week, especially after the results last week. Seattle just got destroyed by the Rams, and I saw a comment in here. Tony was saying that we fooled him with the Rams and lied to him. It's like, we didn't lie to you, Tony. They did look awful at practice, and I personally still think that they're eventually going to be an awful team this year. I still do. But they shocked the shit out of me last week.
And Seattle lost both offensive tackles.
Yeah,
both offensive tackles went down. So they I know they claimed one off the Raiders practice squad this week, but they're hurting that offensive line already.
They added Jason Peters as well.
So, and Detroit looked good against Kansas City, but they also gave up a lot. They had a lot of open passing lanes and a lot of open receivers, and Kansas City just beat themselves. I believe Kansas City beat themselves. Those balls were a big thing. But I think Aiden Hutchinson has a great game this week, and I think Detroit goes to 2-0.
Everyone keeps saying the Lions offense is too good. The offense looked awful against KC's defense without Chris Jones. They couldn't move the ball. They couldn't convert on third down. Jared Goff was all out of rhythm. They didn't know when to feed Jahmyr Gibbs, when to keep him on the sideline. I honestly thought that the Lions had an ugly game, especially offensively, in that first game against KC. And then KC's drops literally cost them the game. They could have scored 28, 30 points in that game if they just caught 5 out of the 7 drops or however many drops there were in that game. I still am low on the Lions, even after.
Well, the Lions were very
Super Bowl champs.
They were very inconsistent. Like when the running game was working, then they go, you know what? Let's throw the ball. Let's throw the ball. And they like stick with what's working. That's just in my opinion. I stick with what's working.
Do my eyes look bloodshot? They don't look bloodshot. Unless I'm thinking, like, isn't bloodshot like all red?
I've seen your eyes before, Mike. I saw them earlier when I was looking in the toilet. It looked just like those eyes.
Anyways, I'm going with Seattle. Pete Carroll going to use last week's ass beating as fuel all week to get ready for this Lions team that I still feel has a bunch of holes. I don't trust their secondary. I think their pass rush is good and better than previous years, but it's not dominant where it's just going to take over this game, even against weak tackles. And defensively, I just think that Seattle has a lot more playmakers than the Lions offense has, and they're going to throw them at them. So give me Seattle in this one on the road. You're going Detroit?
I'm going Detroit.
Yeah, Detroit Lions are still missing the playoffs, everybody. Don't get it twisted. Tony is also going with the Lions. So here's Tony's pick here. He's going with Detroit over Seattle as well. Let us know in the chat who you guys got. I think he already put this up here. Harrison said Lions, and Afix wants to see Seattle at 0-2. I think he's a 49ers fan. And Football Therapist just wants to see a high-scoring game. We'll see if these offenses can get it together. Both offenses struggled in their week 1 matchup. All right, on to the New York Giants heading to Arizona to play the Cardinals. I don't think we need to talk too much about this. I will say this, Joe. The Arizona defense played very good against the Commanders. But how much of that was the Commanders' struggles, first time at quarterback with Sam Howell, and how much of that was the Arizona defense being a dominant defense that's going to keep them in this game against the Giants? Because that's what it's going to take, a dominant performance. I think the Giants are going to take off with this one.
Well, you could say the Giants defense played good against the Cowboys offense. Like, right? You could say that. For the little bit of plays out there, it was the Cowboys defense that was out there scoring all damn day.
Lewis is saying that he's got the Cardinals here with an upset. If the Giants go 0-2, man, they might as well just fucking give up on the season right now.
Well, people were upset when I already told you. I had the Giants. I had them win 7 games, but I didn't think the Giants were that good this year. I told you they played a little bit above their talent last year. And this week, I actually have the Giants beating the Cardinals. I know the Cardinals played good last week, but it was against the Washington Commanders, and I can't sit here and ever take the Cardinals. I think I'm going to pick against the Cardinals every single week. So I'm going New York Giants.
Yeah, I'm going with the Giants also, and I think we need to edit that Cardinals played decent last week. It was just the defense. The offense was absolutely garbage. I think they forced like 4 turnovers, and they still couldn't score 20 points. The offense is trash.
Well, after last week, I traded for Josh Dobbs on my Madden team, so we're going to win the Super Bowl with Josh Dobbs. Sarcastic look right there if you didn't see it, but
I got Josh Dobbs on my fantasy team in the NFFL, so I'm rooting for him. Trust me. I just don't got much confidence in him. Football therapist is saying Giants could have not looked any worse last week. Here's a good spot to bounce back. I agree with you, football therapist. Giants in a bounce back. Let's see if Tony's crazy enough to go with the Cardinals.
Nope.
He is not. He's going Giants. So there
Good
we go.
job, Tony. Good job, Tony.
All right. All right. On to this next one. And this is my lock of the week and my game of the week. Probably the first time that's ever happened in the history of Mike's Pick'ems Challenge. My game of the week, because I think that these are the 2 top defenses in the league right now. Maybe 1 and 3 or 1 and 4. But however you order it, we got 2 top 5 defenses going at it here in Dallas. The Jets coming off a big win against the Bills. They just shut down their prolific offense. The Cowboys coming off a 40-0 victory against the Giants. Joe, do you want to predict Zach Wilson to upset the Cowboys or what?
Well, I'm just thinking like Josh Allen and Dak Prescott battled it out last year for most interceptions in the season, right? We just saw Josh Allen throw 3 interceptions against the Jets. Can Dak come out and match that or do better, Dak? Can Dak do 3 or 4 interceptions this week against the Jets? That's what I'm interested in seeing. This game right here, I don't know why you're picking it as your game of the week, Mike, because this game right here is going to be nothing but defense. It's going to be defense, defense, defense. It might be 0-0 going into 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter. I don't know, something like that. But Dak Prescott's going to throw picks. Zach Wilson's going to throw picks. If the defense wants to win, they got to score for themselves. But I'm going with that Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah. I'm going with the Cowboys also, but that's why it's my game of the week, Joe. It's a very interesting game. I was tempted to go Miami, New England. I was tempted to go KC, Jacksonville. But this is the game where the 2 teams' strengths are the exact same, and they're both turnover prone. They're both pretty loose with the football on offense. We could see both teams score touchdowns on defense in this game, which would be just phenomenal. It would be fun to watch.
Yeah, Dak struggled last week. There you go, 13-10 Cowboys. Cowboys don't have a running back too. We'll answer Cowboys 10-9. That would be 3 combined interceptions. What do you think, Mike? Over under 3 combined interceptions?
Over. I think Zach will throw 3 by himself.
Yeah, both of these defenses are good. Good. It's going to be a good test for that Dallas offensive line too. This is a great pass rush in the Giants that the Jets have. Sorry, I'm still in the Giants from New York, but the Jets have a great pass rush. But yeah, this is going to be a battle of defenses right here.
Tony is going with them Dallas Cowboys as well, so we're all going Cowboys. Anyone have any love for the Jets out there? Let us know. Harrison saying he's going with Dallas. All right,
no love for the Jets.
Next game. 16-team parlay, $10 for 125K. Yeah, do it. Screw it. $10. Just go for it.
What's the next game? Oh, the next game. Are we going Broncos and Commanders? Is that the next game? Oh my!
The Commanders are heading to Denver.
I saw Russ cooking it up last week. Cooking it up. Check down. Russ was here. Like Sean Payton was like, "Hey Russ, just throw it down. Just check it down to the running backs, and that's it. Like, don't fuck up. Just don't fuck up out there, Russ. And
don't fuck it up."
He looked good, and Russ had a great game, but he really didn't because he was just checking down, and he got contained. He only threw for 160 yards. So I'm going. I don't know, Mike. I know I'm going with Washington. I have to go with Washington in this because I don't see anything. I know the Broncos defense was a little bit better, and they're always going to be good, but we've always said that about the Broncos defense. Broncos have a good defense, but that doesn't equal wins for them for some reason. Their defense shuts people down, but they I don't know. They don't win the game. So I'm going with Washington Commanders over this one. I think Washington finally gets their offensive going, and the Broncos just don't have nothing on offense right now. They have nothing going on offense.
Yeah, but I don't think Washington has a bunch going on offense either. So I'm taking Denver for that reason. I mean, this is an interesting battle between these two teams because it's kind of the same story for both teams. They're both relying on their defenses to kind of carry them to victory any given week, every single week, because of, lackluster QB play. And it sucks that Russell Wilson's in that category, but he is in that category. I do worry about the depth of the Denver defense. I think as the season goes on, that defense could start to weaken up a little bit. And then all of a sudden, the gates are open and teams are going to start wrecking the Broncos. But for now, while they're intact at home, let's give Sean Payton his first win of his career as a Denver Bronco. I'm gonna take
They're not
Denver.
even intact. They've lost injuries this week too.
So they're already down some guys.
Yeah.
Let's see who Tony picked. Tony picked the Broncos also. So we got Broncos for me, Broncos for Tony. Joe's with the Commanders. Joe, you're not gonna win this game. You're not gonna win this week. So don't get too excited. Okay.
Look, I'm not worried about you guys. I'm just worried about everybody else who's in your pick'em league. I already know I can beat you and Tony. It's just everybody else who joins by scanning that barcode.
Oh yeah, the link's down below, or you can scan. You can scan this. Everyone screenshot this real quick. Boom, boom, boom. Everyone screenshot it. All right, join the Pick'ems challenge. All right, on to the next.
Buy me, or it's gonna be nice when I'm going to the Super Bowl on you, Mike.
I know, right? Joe, convince me, how the fuck are the Raiders going to beat the Bills?
Very simple. The Raiders are the better team, Mike. They're going to go out there and they're going to ask the Bills politely, can we have this victory? And the Bills are going to be like, yeah, you can. It's that simple. No, it's the Raiders. Did you not see the Raiders defense? They keep everything in front of them. This week, they just got to contain Josh Allen a little bit more. Don't let him roll out. Keep Josh Allen in the pocket, and he'll make the mistakes himself. You don't even have to do anything. Just put a little pressure on Josh Allen. He'll give you the ball. He'll just throw it up there and give you the ball. The Raiders offense, no 3-and-outs last week, Mike. No 3-and-outs by offense. They're going to take their time going down the field. They're not going to hit the big plays. They don't need to hit the big plays. They're going to go little by little. First down, touchdown. First down, touchdown. And they're going to keep Josh Allen on that sideline. And the Raiders are going to get Josh Jacobs. He didn't show up last week. He's showing up this week. But the Raiders win this game easily over the Bills. And then everybody better put respect on the Raiders' name.
Have you ever thought maybe they're not making the big plays because they can't?
They don't need to make the big plays. Why? If you could chew up 8 minutes of the clock, it's smart football. You want to make a big play like Staley does and Kellen Moore does, and then still get your ass kicked because the other offense made a big play? Come on. Take the time off the clock. If you take 8 minutes away from the team and you keep them on the field, smart football in Las Vegas.
Well, first of all, Staley and Kellen Moore have nothing to do with this topic. Okay, so let's stay on topic here, Joe. Please stay on topic. But I think that the problem is going to be is that the Bills are going to put up points, unlike the Denver Bronco offense can put up points. And can the Raiders keep up and make big plays to stay in the game late in the third and fourth quarter?
I don't think so. I want to see Marcus Peters get into Diggs' face because Diggs is already a ticking time bomb. You already saw it. You already saw Diggs yelling at Josh Allen last week on the sideline. Marcus Peters needs to just jaw at him and say, hey, dude, you ain't shit. You ain't nothing. And piss Diggs off and take him out of the game mentally.
Yeah, that's what you want. You want Diggs going after Marcus Peters. That's going to be a key to success.
Why not? Use Marcus Peters to an advantage. And I already told you, Mike, I'm not high on the Buffalo Bills this year. I already told you I see them imploding inside, and it's already working.
Tony picked the Bills. I'm picking the Bills. Joe's going with the Raiders.
You guys get the L. That's why you guys stay underneath me, because I keep taking the Raiders.
I picked the Raiders last week. What are you talking about? I picked them last week. If the Bills O-line can keep up with the pass rush, then Bills. If not, then Raiders. I think the Bills O-line will be all right. I think the Raiders pass rush is mostly Max Crosby.
Raiders win 28-24. I'll put a score on there.
Football therapist is saying that the Bills win by 21 plus.
Well, football therapist is an idiot.
Yeah, and don't make fun of Staley's.
I'm just joking.
We'll get to Staley in this game. Chargers on the road in Tennessee. And man, that Staley defense looked great last week, didn't it, Joe?
What are we talking about?
Chargers Titans. But I was asking you, how great the Staley defense looked. I mean, this guy is an elite defensive mind.
Not only that, the defense, I mean, no offensive line for the Dolphins, and you have two of the greatest pass rushers to ever play the game, according to NFLMike, right out there. And you win against the Dolphins that made you look stupid. J.C. Jackson, the greatest addition to mankind, like the best free agent contract the Chargers have ever given out for the best player ever. J.C. Jackson, I think J.C. Jackson should have just wore a Dolphins jersey last week, right? Should have just put that on. He was helping them out, player of the week.
Hey, he had an interception. He prevented a touchdown in that game.
Yeah. Anyways.
Kinda.
And then Austin Eckler this week calling out your coaches in his own little thing. And Austin Eckler saying Josh Kelly should be a pickup it should be owned in every fantasy league. So if you guys listen to Austin Eckler, you go pick up Joshua Kelly.
I wonder why, huh?
Yeah, I wonder. But yeah, I'm still taking you know what? After all that shit, I'm still taking the Chargers this week to win against the Tennessee Titans.
After all that shit talking, you're taking the Chargers. Why is that, Joe? Now let's do some positive Chargers talk here.
Because the Titans are crap. The Titans are crap. Like, the Titans should have – there's no way the Saints should have won that game last week. There's no way. The Saints were a bad team last week. The defense stepped up, but the Chargers – come on, Herbert. Can you show the fuck up this week, Herbert? Can you get some touchdowns? Can you light this? Can you light the board up? Like, we're expecting 40, 50 points from you every week, 5 touchdowns. Find your damn wide receivers, and let's go.
He scored in between 34 and 40 points in the last 4 games, and the Chargers are 0-4 in those games.
Well,
so I don't think Herbert's the problem.
You want him to play defense too, Mike?
That's what I'm saying. I don't think Herbert's the problem here. I think there's a very clear issue as to why the Chargers have lost all of those games. And
why does Herbert get a lot of passes? I want to know why. I like Herbert. Don't get me wrong. I like Justin Herbert. But he gets a lot of passes for not winning games as an elite quarterback. Joe Burrow has no offensive line. He'll win a game for you.
Joe Burrow just got smoked last week with the fully healthy O-line.
Every week, concussions, and he's winning games out there. His team gave up 30-plus points. He won a game for you. Why do we continue to give Justin Herbert?
I'm not giving him a pass. It's the reason the Chargers lost the game. It's not a pass. I'm not saying that we need to raise Justin Herbert because the defense is stinky. Yeah, I'd like to be able to say that Herbert's able to just overcome a stinky defense. But if you look at a game and there's a reason why the Chargers lost, I can say that reason without it having anything to do with a pass or not for Justin Herbert. We all know the quarterback that Justin Herbert is. He's in the record books for a reason.
Okay? And I'm only talking all this crap because Tony's not here, and I can do it. And Tony's not here, so I can say what I want.
Yeah, and you know that'll trigger Tony. We'll be on this talk forever. I think that the Chargers offense is going to find success against the Tennessee defense. I think they're going to find success because of Justin Herbert, because of all of these weapons, against every defense they play this year. The Chargers are going to average 28 points per game this season, and it's just going to be all on how good or bad the defense is week to week. Last week, they were historically bad. We need you just to be bad. We can't let you be historically bad. As long as you're just bad, the Chargers will win 10 or more games. Now, if it's historically bad every week like last week, and Derrick Henry goes for 200 yards rushing this week, then yeah, the Chargers are going to be in trouble. But I don't think that's what's going to happen. I think they're going to just be bad. They're going to give up 20, 24 points to this Titans offense. That's not enough to beat us. 2024 is not enough to beat us this year.
Look, I have so much trust in the Chargers this week that Derrick Henry won't go off. I traded Derrick Henry last night in fantasy football.
I'm sure that'll go well for you.
Yeah, I'm sure it will. It always does.
You can have 100 yards.
Yeah, what's the Chargers' excuse, Mike? If the Chargers lose this week, what's going to be their excuse? You guys used to make fun of the Raider fans for always saying Derek Carr can't play defense. It's not all Derek's Carr, and now we're doing the same thing. It's coaching. Oh, our coaching sucks. Or our defense sucks. Come on, step up this week. I think the Chargers, but I still think the Chargers are a good team. But God damn, stop with the excuses. And what's up with the fake-ass fans in your stands? You guys got to make fans now? You got to artificially intelligent fans out there? Is that what it is, Mike? You got to put fake fans in SoFi Stadium?
I'm going to start treating you like you're Joe Biden instead of Joe Morley and start fact-checking your ass. I never blame Derek Carr for anything. I actually said that Derek Carr should stay a Raider, and I'm supporting Derek Carr now that he's a New Orleans Saint. I always said it was their defense. I always said it was their O-line. I always said that they had coaching issues and drama off the field and leadership problems. What are you talking about? I was out here shitting on Derek Carr. Also, how many all-time records has Derek Carr broken?
You're talking about Justin Herbert because
Herbert's already broken like 5.
Oh, Herbert has the most as a rookie of that because Patrick Mahomes didn't play as a rookie.
Okay.
Whatever.
So did a lot of other quarterbacks in NFL history. Philip Rivers didn't play as a rookie.
You started to sound like me. You just pick and choose what works for your agenda and go with it.
At least you just admit to it right there. Oh, man. All right. We're going to go on to the next game. I'm picking the Chargers. Tony's picking the Chargers. Joe's picking the Chargers. I don't even know why we're shitting on the Chargers when all of us agree that the Chargers are going to win this week. On to Bears in Tampa. And this is a story of two different teams here. Everyone was ready for the Bears to wake up, roar in these Packers' face, and start to take over this rivalry, at least for now. But the Packers came out and stomped Chicago. And on the other side, no one thought that Tampa was going to actually pull off that upset against Minnesota. I think a lot of us were saying that I think that we think it's going to be a closer game, but no one expected Tampa to upset them. What's your thoughts on this game here? Bears in Tampa, keep in mind, they got to travel to Florida too.
Yeah, this is a tough one. I was watching the Bucs defensive line because Tony got me on it, and I was watching the way their defense played. It looked good. Baker Mayfield made some plays, man. Baker is Tony talked about it, right? He said the going to be good enough that the Buccaneers won't suck, and he did some good things. And then I watched the Bears game, and I expected a lot out of the Bears just thought they could come out there like you showed what you like. Maybe you shouldn't have done all that in preseason where you showed your screens and all that stuff because I thought their offense was very basic and generic, and it didn't trick the Green Bay Packers at all. Like they were like, oh yeah, we'll just throw it out there and we'll get our screen right away. They didn't trick nobody. That offense tricked nobody, and Justin Fields was still running for his life. And we thought the offensive line was going to be a little bit improved. So I think the Bears are going to go back to the drawing board, get it going this week. I can't take Baker 2 weeks in a row, so I'm going with the Chicago Bears to right the ship.
It's all on Justin Fields, man. We need you to go out there and perform, bro. We all believe in your talent. This guy is uber talented. I don't care what anyone says about Fields as a passer. Fields is also a good passer. He's a good passer. He's an elite rusher of the football and scrambler. We need to put it all together in Chicago, even if the O-line isn't perfect. I don't know how we're going to put it all together. That's the job of the coaching staff and the scheme and the game planning, but they definitely got to figure this out. 1777 memorabilia is in here saying Fields sucks versus good defenses. Yeah, this has been the historic thing. This has been the trend. They got to buck this week. So I'm going with the Bears as well, Joe. And it's a lot of faith that Fields is just going to have a great game against even a solid Tampa defense here.
Khalil Herbert looked fast. I don't know about if you watched the game, Mike, but he looked fast. I think they need to relax. I think they try to do too much. They just need to go back and simplify it. But don't just think the defense is going to be like, yeah, we're going to let you throw a screen pass on us. These are NFL players. They know when a screen's coming. The lineman can read it. You got to trick them. You got to trick them out a little bit. But I think they go back and they get it and they get the running game going. And we'll see Justin Fields and the Bears with the victory this weekend.
Get the ball in your stars' hands. Like football therapists saying here, they have no faith in Fields. It's showing by the play calling. Get the ball in Fields' hands. Get the ball in DJ Moore's hands. Get the ball in Khalil Herbert's hands. Let's see what these guys can do. I mean, we need to just get them out in space. It's that simple, and they'll be better. Again, reminder everyone, make sure you like the stream. It helps us out a ton in the algorithm. Subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications. And if you want to join the PICKEMS challenge, $200 to the winners last week, and it pays the top 50 people. Joe was saying he finished in 50th, and he won $27. So and you could play for 5 weeks after that. So you guys should go and join the PICKEMS challenge. Anyways, the link is in the description, by the way. I don't know if I said that, of this live stream. KC on the road in Jacksonville, Joe, and we're obviously rooting for Jacksonville to win this game, right?
Well, yeah, I'm going with the Jacksonville Jaguars just because I want to see Andy Reid and the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes eat another loss and go 0-2. It would be so amazing just to see that. But I mean, I didn't see anything great from the Kansas City defense. I think Jacksonville has enough weapons that they can move up and down. Christian Kirk, like the third option in that offense now, right? That is what it's looking like. Running backs. And Jacksonville, I mean, Kansas City's offensive line. You brought in these big old tackles, and can they fix themselves this week? And where's the wide receivers? It's Kelsey. Kelsey looks like he's going to be back because I was listening to his podcast yesterday. It sounds like he's back. He had a hard time just watching his team, so that might help a little bit. But Jacksonville ain't a team to mess with. This is a top team coming in. You should have got your first win last week, and I already had this before even all the injuries, before the drop passes, before losing to Detroit. This was one of the games that I already had Kansas City losing because Jacksonville's coming in like this is a playoff game, right? This is like something that they want. The Chiefs are going to get the best of everybody. So everybody wants to knock off the defending Super Bowl champions, and they're going to bring their A game. And the Chiefs going on the road, they've had 10 days to do it, but I just don't think I don't know. I just can't. I can't do it. Jacksonville offense is too much for me, even with Chris Jones back.
Yeah, it's crazy, right, Joe? Remember we had an argument on here during one of our wide receiver fantasy shows, and we were talking about Christian Kirk and Calvin Ridley, and I was saying how I think Zay Jones is even going to be better than Christian Kirk because he's moving to the slot, and I gave this elaborate thing, and then Tony instantly shut it down and said, you know what, Mike? You're a fucking idiot. Well, you know what, Tony? Zay Jones is going to out-receive Christian Kirk. I'm calling it out.
Tony.
Again.
Yeah, Tony.
Again. So hopefully you're tuned into this and watching when you can't defend yourself and realize that when Mike says something's going to happen, that shit happens. And Mike says the Jaguars are going to cook this Chiefs secondary and win this game and send the Chiefs to 0-2. Get excited.
Let's see. If you guys are in the chat, go ahead and tell Tony say hi to Tony or say some kind words to Tony Tucker in the chat.
Anyways, Tony picked the Bucks. So he's got the Bears losing and he picked the Chiefs. So we're both going Jaguars. He's going Chiefs. Tony, you just don't like winning. You just don't like winning. There's so many differences this week. Tony could have a really ugly week. I will say that. Anyways, on to Indianapolis here. Another division game. Indianapolis going on the road to Houston to play Texas. This is an interesting one. You got the battle of the rookie quarterbacks. You got the battle of a good defense in Indianapolis. And I wouldn't say that they're a great defense yet in Houston. They performed against Baltimore. They showed some bright spots. But you know that the coordinator and the game planning and the scheme going into this game is going to be really good. What's your thoughts here on Colts, Texans, Joe? I'm torn on this one.
Colts, Texans. I thought the Colts I think both teams played better than everybody expected last week. Colts defense, like we talked about the Colts defense and how they have a lot of like no name guys out there. Anthony Richardson surprised me, right? I don't know about you, but he played very good last week.
Yeah.
And this is a toss up, but I'm taking DeMeco Ryans and the Houston Texans this week to get their first dub.
I'm very concerned about DeMeco Ryans just coming up with a really good game plan to shut down Anthony Richardson. And I'm going to be worried about that picking the Colts all year. So I probably won't be picking them very much just because you know how it is being a rookie quarterback in the NFL. But Richardson was so good in this first game that he's convinced me a little bit that he can go against a good game plan and still win in spite of a good game plan against him. They almost pull off that upset against Jacksonville. If Etienne doesn't break a big run late in the game where he actually got tackled, he got crowded, he just spun out of it, made a great play, and took off for 6. The Colts are getting the ball back there down 6, I believe, or down, 1 score, and there's a chance they can win that game. I think that they can even put in more work against Houston. So I'm going to go with Indy. A lot of faith here in Anthony Richardson because, like you're saying, DeMeco Ryans is going to have a guy in his face all game probably.
Yeah.
That's going to be the plan. Let's see who Tony picked in this one. Tony's going with
Colts.
I can't find the game. Colts too. Let's go, Tony. Indy. All right, last stretch of games here. The 49ers going on the road to LA, coming to our backyard. What's your thoughts on this game, Joe? I think that the 49ers are going to now give us a glimpse at what we saw from the Rams. Just too much. I thought it was too much last week with Seattle. It's definitely going to be too much this week against San Francisco. But, Joe, you got the Rams in an upset maybe?
Well, let me just say this. One of these teams played above their talent last week. They were overrated last week. Now everybody's building them up. Now they got to go on the road and play a game this week. So I'm going to take the home team in this game. I'm taking the San Francisco 49ers to beat the Rams.
Yeah, this is what 177 Memorabilia is saying too. He's got the 49ers. Where he said that the 49ers are wearing their home jerseys in LA and the Rams agreed to it. And Shanahan owns McVay. I'm going with San Francisco 49ers as well. I still don't have.
Stadium will be red. This whole SoFi Stadium will be red.
I was actually going to go to this game, but not going to end up going. But I was going to go and with my family, they're 49ers fans, and just be like the one Chargers fan in the entire stadium. But with a group of 49ers, fill the stadium more.
Everybody is high on the Rams after last week, right? Rams beat Seattle. Good win. They're going to get knocked back down to reality this week. It's going to be like, I know a lot of people wasted their waiver on a wide receiver this week, but hey, this game is going to get ugly.
Well, Stafford had a hell of a game last week, and Aaron Donald dominated as he always does. That's what's going to take every week for the Rams to keep winning. And I think as more tape comes out, teams are going to start to realize that, like, we can just slow down Aaron Donald and keep this team from throwing the shit out of the football. I mean, where are they really going to attack us from with this offensive line and that secondary? I still think the Rams are going to have a rough year even after that win in week 1. Let's see who Tony picked. Tony picked the Rams. No, he picked the Niners. Come on, Tony. You keep talking about the Rams and how we're liars and how the Rams are really good. Pick them to win. You need the Seahawks to win the division for your predictions, right, Tony? Anyways, we miss you, Tony. Tony's going with the Niners as well. All three of us on the Niners. Sunday Night Football, division rivalry game again. We got division rivalry games throughout this entire week. But Miami Dolphins on the road in New England against the Patriots. Joe, who you got here?
Patriots actually they didn't. I was going to give Patriots a little bit of credit. More like the Eagles sucked last week and didn't have I think the Eagles came out a little cocky, but Miami. I'm taking Miami. I'm taking them easily. I know that we could talk about Bill Belichick, but that Patriots might have great game plans, but they don't have the talent up there yet to compete with the Miami Dolphins. You already saw what Tua can do last week, and he's going to put up another points. This offense and the way, like Mike made a video of Tyreek Hill where they move him all over the field now. What a great innovation by McDaniels down there to do that. So if you guys haven't checked out Mike's video, go check that out on TikTok. Everybody seems to be watching it, but Tyreek Hill is, when you get a playmaker, you finally got somebody that uses them 100%. And just Andy Reid used them correctly, but instead of just running them down the field, they beat out everybody here. Let's do some trick plays with Tyreek Hill. I like it. So I think Miami, right?
Yeah, you said you have Miami, and I think that actually that Mike McDaniel putting that on tape, not a mistake. I mean, that's probably what they're going to do this year. They're going to be motioning Tyreek Hill every single game in, game out. But Bill Belichick seeing that, he's not going to do what Staley did. Staley had a bunch of checks where when Tyreek Hill motioned, it seemed like every time they went into man coverage. That's not the coverage you want to run against Tyreek Hill. That's the opposite of the game plan that you want to run against Tyreek Hill. Bill Belichick's going to come in here. He's not going to stop the cheetah. No one's stopping the cheetah. He's not giving up 215 yards to him. And that Miami defense looked as bad as the Chargers defense. And people are forgetting that. They aren't seeing that within that game. I think that the Patriots are going to be able to score on Miami, and they're going to slow the offense, and Dolphins fans are going to hate me because they think that I'm just salty. I'm sulking. I'm rooting for Tua. I keep saying that. Off the mountaintops. Kevin Piggy Bank picks. I'm rooting for Tua. I swear on everything. I'm rooting for him. But I think the Patriots are going to win this game. I think the Patriots are going to win this game, Joe. And I'm picking the Patriots.
Well, there you go. Because football therapist was telling you, just do it. Just do it.
And if this was in Miami, I would take Miami. I want to put it for the record. If this was in Miami, I would take Miami. I would, if it was in Miami. But in New England, with all those other things, kind of weighing on my mind, that's enough for me to go ahead and say Mac Jones season, baby. Let's go. Yeah, people are overlooking. They were the second worst defense in week 1. It's just the first worst defense was the defense they played against. That's the only thing. That's why they won the game. Anyways, New Orleans Saints on the road in Carolina for one of our 2 Monday Night Football games, which, by the way, Joe, I love double Monday Night Football games. I love it.
I don't
give
like
us double Monday Night Football.
Up,
every week. Give us double Monday Night Football. I mean, it's easier for me to say, a guy who doesn't have a job, kind of just floats around and just watches football and goofs off for a living. But for me personally, I want 2 Monday Night Football games every week.
No, 2 Monday Night Football games are great, but the way they set this one up is not great. That they're playing like at the same time.
Oh, they are?
Yeah, I think like this. I think the Saints one starts like an hour before the Steeler game.
2 TVs, Joe. Double TVs, double Monday Night Football.
I mean, how many people have the luxury to do that? I mean, come on. Like NFL started and then why have 4 East Coast teams play? Why not put a West Coast game on there? So then you start one at 4:00, which is 7:00 Eastern, and then you start the other one at 10, or whatever you got to do. If you got to start it at 3:00 this time, or Pacific time, or at 6:00, and then 9:00, do something like that. But stop with the damn East Coast crap.
They could have swapped the Rams Niners game for the Saints Carolina game. That would have been fair.
Yeah, it would have been a lot better.
Anyways, well, let
me do the NFL schedule.
Yeah, we got two games on Monday Night Football. Who you got? Panthers or Saints?
TJ Stroud. No, I'm taking the Saints. I'm taking the Saints over the Panthers.
We've been saying this on the show for a while, Keegan. Double Monday night and get rid of Thursday night.
No, I don't hate football. I love football that I don't want to watch 2 games at one time. I want to be able to watch one game and then the next game. One game and then the next game.
He's locked in. He wants to be focused. I'm going with New Orleans to start 2-0 as well. I think Carolina's going to be in this game. I think it will be close. That New Orleans offense disappointed me last week. Tennessee does have a very stout defense, and so does the Panthers. So I think we're going to see a similar type of output from the Saints offense. Maybe 21, maybe 24 instead this week. But there's just too many veterans on this Saints team to drop a game to a team as young and kind of just getting started like the Panthers with their quarterback in the Bryce Young era. So I think Bryce Young looks better in this game. I feel like his stat line didn't really match up to his play. He looked decent in that game. He looked a little bit ahead of his time in that first game, a little bit more experience than a guy playing in his first NFL game. So I'm excited to see how the season goes. I'm excited to see him take some more steps here in this second week, but it's just too many veterans, too many consistent good players in New Orleans, especially on defense, for me to pick against them in this one. So give me the Saints as well. All right, last game of the week, Joe.
Mike, read that comment real quick.
I was going to say, Joe is a W Raiders fan. He deserves no disrespect. Really stopped me to read that shit. Anyways, Cleveland on the road in Pittsburgh. This is the last game of the week. Let us know who you guys got in the chat, the Browns or the Steelers. Opposites. Tale of opposite tales. The Steelers, we had all these high hopes. We even all picked them. Clean sweep. Everyone picked the Steelers to beat the 49ers in an upset last week, and they came out and got wrecked by San Francisco. Cleveland was a team that we kind of all doubted a little bit. I know I picked the Bengals in that game. Tony might have picked the Browns. I don't remember. You might have picked the Browns. I don't remember. But we expected it to be a close game, but Cleveland came out and smoked the Bengals. So, Joe, do you think that the Steelers bounce back against their division rival, or do you think Cleveland is legit and wins this one too?
Steelers lost Cam Hayward for 8 weeks. Big injury to their defensive line right there. Steelers look like crap. 49. I mean, TJ Watt. I predicted it last week. TJ Watt 3 sacks. That was the only prediction I got right in that game last week.
You'll be right on most weeks with that prediction.
Yeah, why not? Myles Garrett was on a whole nother level, and they moved him around last week. I don't know if you saw that. They moved him from the outside to the inside. It seems like that's a new trend with great pass rushers, because a lot of teams were doing that, moving their guys all over the line to get in there. What was that? I missed that. Sorry.
He's just saying that the Panthers don't really have any weapons right now, and Adam Thielen's already banged up too, so they really are thin at receiver.
And so, but I think Mike Tomlin came out and he goes, "Hey, our team got the dog shit kicked out of us, right?" And he's Mike Tomlin ain't gonna take this loss correct. I think it's the worst loss in the Tomlin era, from what I read and everywhere I've seen it. So I mean, Mike Tomlin's gonna have his team ready. The Browns is the Browns, and there's something about when the Browns play the Steelers that the Browns just shit themselves, and they can't do it. Like the Steelers or the Browns' daddy, right? And they have been, and I don't think that changes this week. I'm going with Pittsburgh on Monday night.
Well, I'm ready to flip my opinion on the Browns after the first week because their problem has always been that they've had all this talent, but not had really the game planning, the scheme, or the consistency to put together a good defense. The offense has always been good because they just let Nick Chubb be the engine, and the rest of it flows around it. And Kevin Stefanski is a solid offensive mind. I think he's going to be a great offensive coordinator one day if the Browns don't get their shit together like right now, this week, this season. I'm going to take a leap of faith, Joe, and I've probably taken this leap of faith on the Browns way too many times in my life. And, 10 for 10, 20 for 20, probably 50 for 50 times. They've disappointed me, and they've absolutely ruined my week. And this is the last game of the week as well. So it'll probably be close, and they'll devastate me again and ruin everything. But I'm going to go with the Browns. I think that the defense played good enough last week. And like you're saying, the key of using Myles Garrett smart and using him in all different formations, inside, outside, he has the skill set to do it all. I think they're going to give Pittsburgh the same fits that the San Fran D-line gave them. I do. And I was so high on the Steelers. Like, I only had them winning 9 games, so not super high, but just on them being a really good team going forward from here on out with Kenny Pickett, and it just all kind of got crushed. Come on, Cleveland.
And Deontay Johnson's injury.
Don't disappoint me. Yeah, Deontay's hurt. Cam Hayward's hurt. I mean, the Steelers are already beat to shit also. I mean, for example, Chubb's going to be running straight up the middle where Cam Hayward was supposed to be.
No. Didn't you see the comments? They already told you. Benton's doing good. He did good after he
I actually do like Keanu Benton a lot. I forgot he's even there. Maybe he should have been the breakout player for the Steelers, man.
And you know what? To go back and watch the team, yes, the 49ers dominated that game, but Kenny Pickett missed a couple wide receivers wide open for touchdowns too. So, I mean, it wasn't – I just thought the Steelers' offense was a little off. They just weren't getting going. And when you get surprised like that and get your ass kicked right out the gate, sometimes your state's not all there.
Yeah, well, I had a video in edit. It just didn't make the cut for time restraints reasons, but it was the title was Kenny Pickett played like trash. I mean, Kenny Pickett might have had his worst career game, and he hasn't had a career great game yet, but that game was terrible. I mean,
he was behind receivers.
Along with, missing on those wide receivers, wide open plays down the field, constantly underthrowing receivers. He threw, I think, 3 interceptions. But keep in mind, he also had like 3 or 4 passes that should have been more interceptions. Like, this could have been a 5-pick game if Fred Warner doesn't drop an easy interception on the sideline. If the ball doesn't get tipped and the safety catches the ball over the middle in another play in the game. I mean, it was atrocious, and it worries me. It worries me for this offense. It worries me for George Pickens, who I crowned as the league-winning wide receiver of the year. And it worries me that this Steelers team is going to be the average Steelers team that I called, but I called without much confidence. Like, I thought that I'm making this prediction with the expectations they're going to beat me.
This is why all the experts, not just you, Mike, but there was a lot of people that said, oh, the Steelers are going to be good, but, and this is the game why they said but. This is why everybody was being bitches and not just crowning the Steelers the Super Bowl champions or anything like that, or crowning them the division. This is why. This is the game why, because of games like this. And now all those people that were like, see, I told you the Steelers might have been good or could be good, but then the shit. This is why. But I think the Steelers right the ship. They'll be all right.
Yeah, this is basically what I did. I just stayed on the fence where I could like go either direction based on how it goes. And I'm still on the fence, very much so. Appreciate everyone tuning into this week's PICKEMS challenge. Again, a reminder, help us out by liking the stream and subscribing to the channel, but also joining the PICKEMS challenge. The link is in the description of this video. Everyone can go and join right now. It'll take you like 5 minutes to sign up and submit your picks. One more time, here's my picks. Mike, Here's Joe's picks, who's in first right now in this competition by 1 game. And here's Tony's picks, who's in last in this competition. So don't use Tony's picks. Use mine or use Joe's. And again, if you guys would rather use the Scantron, you can screenshot right now and scan the scanner. Everyone who enters is entered to win those Super Bowl tickets. I call that my tax write-off giveaway, Joe. So if you guys want to get in on that tax write-off giveaway, scan the scanner. All right. Anything else, Joe? Before I call it? All right. Appreciate you guys again. Talk to you next time. We're going to be live Sunday morning for the wake-up call with fantasy football advice. Please tune into that, y'all. We will see you there.